Hello and welcome to the weekend edition of News Showcase. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Reports say southern India is facing a severe water crisis as reservoir levels have dropped to just 17% of capacity, indicating a worsening water scarcity that could impact irrigation, drinking water, and hydroelectric power generation. This significant reduction in water storage in states like Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu is a stark contrast to the previous year's 29% and the 10-year average of 23%. The eastern region, including Assam, Odisha, and West Bengal, has seen an improvement in water storage levels. The situation in the western region, northern, and central regions is less optimistic, with declines in water storage levels compared to historical averages. The Central Water Commission has also categorized storage across various reservoirs and river basins. Reports say nearly half of the voters in Bengaluru did not take part in Friday's national election. The Election Commission reported a turnout of approximately 69% across 14 constituencies in Karnataka. Data showed the turnout in the urban constituencies of Bangalore Central, North and South was around 53%, a decrease compared to the last election. The heat wave is believed to be the reason for the poor show in the city. The low turnout was disappointing, despite the Election Commission's several initiatives to urge voters to participate in the polls. Private businesses such as hotels and taxi services also joined the initiative, with free food and rides as incentives to encourage voting. But it appears there were no takers, especially in the urban areas of the state. 2 Indian troops were killed and 4 more were injured when suspected militants opened fire in the northeastern state of Manipur. Reports said the incident early on Saturday took place in Bishnupur district, and the militants are thought to belong to the Kuki community. Sources familiar with the situation said the militants opened fire from a hillside on positions manned by paramilitary troops belonging to the Central Reserve Police Force. Reports said, as they traded fire, there was an explosion near the troops. There's speculation that militants hiding in the hills will carry out more attacks in the coming days. The tiny state was hit by violence in May last year when the Kuki and majority Meitei communities clashed, which left over 180 people dead and internally displaced more than 60,000 others. The husband of Congress party leader Priyanka Gandhi has said there was popular demand for him to contest in the ongoing Indian elections. Robert Vadra's comments come after posters of himself in Amethi constituency led to rumors that he is interested in running for the seat in Uttar Pradesh, which his Congress party lost to the BJP in the last election. But Vadra said candidates for Amethi and Raebareli will be decided by the leadership of the party. Reports indicate Priyanka Gandhi and her brother Rahul Gandhi might contest for these seats, where polling will take place on May 20th. Vadra also criticized the incumbent lawmaker for Amethi, Smriti Irani, of not doing enough for the people she represents in parliament. A suspected Chinese spy ship has returned to Maldivian waters after spending a week in the country's waters earlier this year. The visit by the 4,500-ton high-tech ship angered India, which believes it is on a reconnaissance mission. The government of Maldives has not disclosed the reason for its return, but it had previously granted permission for the ship to dock. The ship has been active near or within Maldivian territory since January, after skirting the exclusive economic zone. In February, the Foreign Ministry stated that the ship was there for a port call, personnel rotation and replenishment, following a diplomatic request from China. Reports said the same vessel was present in the region where India, Maldives and Sri Lanka conducted the joint military exercise, Tosti 16. The U.S. Defense Department, Pentagon, has said it was sending Patriot air defense missiles and artillery ammunition to Ukraine as part of its military aid package. Reports said the package does not include launching systems for the missiles. The weapons are said to be worth $6 billion and part of the $61 billion aid approved by President Joe Biden this week. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Patriots can and should save lives right now in the face of an increasing Russian airborne threat, and they are needed urgently. The chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Charles Brown, said a portion of the U.S. aid would also be used to strengthen Ukraine's defense sector, enabling it to manufacture ammunition to deal with the severe shortage. The U.S. has warned that a Russian victory in Ukraine would pose a threat to entire Europe. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said that if China continues to give Russia the supplies it needs to attack Ukraine, Washington would take action. The visiting top U.S. diplomat said in Beijing that he told the Chinese that they were helping fuel the biggest threat to European security since the end of the Cold War. He did not specify the actions the U.S. was ready to take. Speaking about the tension in the Middle East, Blinken said he believed Beijing could play a constructive role and use its relationship with Iran to lower hostilities with Israel. It is Blinken's second visit to China in 10 months, and it is part of a larger diplomatic push to put relations back on track, which have worsened in the past few years. There has been shock and outrage after police in the US used force to overpower an elderly woman during a protest against the war in Gaza. The woman, identified as a 65-year-old professor, was knocked down and handcuffed by police at Emory University in Atlanta. The incident comes as pro-Palestine protests escalated across US universities. They first broke out at Columbia University in New York, before spreading to Los Angeles, Boston, and Austin. Over 200 arrests have been made so far. The student protesters have expressed solidarity with the Palestinians in Gaza, where the civilian death toll has exceeded 34,000. The conflict in Gaza began after the Hamas militant group attacked Israel in October last year, and the group is thought to be holding at least 100 Israeli hostages. The British government is considering deploying troops in Gaza to assist in delivering aid through a new sea route. Reports said the potential role of the troops, known as wet boots, involves driving trucks from landing craft onto a temporary causeway to deliver the aid. No formal decision has been taken, and the plan has not yet reached the Prime Minister's desk. The US is building a large floating pier in the eastern Mediterranean for aid delivery from Cyprus. The Israel Defense Forces will provide security and logistics support for the operation. A senior US military official confirmed that a significant partner would take the aid ashore, but did not disclose its identity. The US has confirmed that no American forces will be involved on the ground in the aid operation. Rebels in Yemen have launched their latest missile attack, damaging a crude oil tanker off the country's coast. According to the UK Maritime Agency, the ship flying the Panamanian flag was hit twice and sustained damage, but there are no reports of fatalities or injuries. The first missile attack caused an explosion close to the ship, and the second is believed to have involved 2 missiles. In a televised statement, the rebels said they targeted a British ship and it was a direct hit. The US military confirmed it and said the ship was continuing its journey. The rebel group claims that they are supporting the Palestinians in Gaza by attacking ships in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden that are believed to be associated with Israel. US President Joe Biden has said that he would be happy to debate his challenger Donald Trump before the election. Speaking during an hour-long interview on the satellite radio network Sirius XM, Biden told his host Howard Stern that he was excited to debate him, but he was not sure when. Presidential debates are usually held in autumn and arranged by an impartial panel. Trump's campaign team has indicated that he was ready for debates anywhere and at any time, but Trump did not appear in any of his party's primary debates, citing his lead in the polls as evidence that he was the front-runner. The US elections are scheduled to take place in November this year. A 60-year-old Argentine woman has made history by winning the Miss Universe title for Buenos Aires province, highlighting the pageant's commitment to diversity and inclusivity. Alejandra Marisa Rodriguez, a lawyer and journalist, is the first woman of her age to win the beauty title. She is preparing to represent Buenos Aires in the national selection for Miss Universe Argentina in May 2024. If successful, she will represent her country at the Miss Universe World Contest in Mexico in September. Rodriguez expressed her excitement about representing a new era in beauty pageants that values more than just physical beauty. The Miss Universe organization has removed age limits for contestants, allowing any woman over 18 to compete. Fresh snowfall was reported in parts of Himachal Pradesh, causing the temperature to dip. The snowfall was widespread in Lahaul and Spiti regions. The Indian Meteorological Department had forecast thunderstorms, hail, and rainfall in 10 districts of the hilly state, with similar conditions elsewhere in the coming days. Last week, snowfall and rain disrupted movement on 3 national highways in the state, which is a favorite all-weather destination for local and international tourists. Shimla, the state's capital, is among the most famous in the country for its hiking tracks, resorts, lakes, and serene homes. Those were the top stories at this hour. Do join us, same time Monday, and have a great weekend.